Here's something nobody tells you about losing your job. It's not just your paycheck that disappears. It's your reason to get up in the morning. If you're watching this after being laid off, made redundant or fired, you know exactly what I mean. One day you had meetings, deadlines, a place to be. Next day, nothing. Just endless empty hours stretching ahead of you. And that freedom you thought you'd love, it becomes a prison. Because when you have nowhere to be, it's easy to convince yourself you don't matter. But here's what I discovered the hard way. Routine isn't just about productivity. It's about proving to yourself that you still have direction, that you're still in control of something. I'm Elizabeth Peischler, and this is part 5 of our Confidence Booster series. Today we are talking about how rebuilding smaller routines quietly rebuilds your confidence. One action, one morning, one decision at a time. Let me tell you about the lowest point after my job loss. I'd eventually wake up around 10 or 11 a.m. No alarm, no reason to set one. I'd shuffle to the kitchen, maybe make a coffee, then find myself on the couch. The TV would go on, just for background noise, I told myself. But then one show became two, became an entire afternoon of mindless watching. Before I knew it was 6 p.m. and I was still in my pajamas. At the end of the day, I'd ask myself, what did I actually accomplish today? And the answer was nothing. Absolutely nothing. I couldn't even point to one meaningful thing I've done with all those 3 hours. I felt useless, completely useless. And I was disappointed in myself. Not just for losing my job, but for not even being able to use my newfound freedom in any productive way. One day blended into the next, and the next, until I couldn't tell Tuesday from Saturday. I was drowning in my own unstructured time. That's when I realized something had to change. I decided to study NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. But here's the thing. It wasn't the subject that saved me initially. It was deciding on study times. Suddenly I had somewhere to be at 9 a.m. I had a reason to get dressed, to show up, to engage my brain. And slowly that small structure started rebuilding something I thought was gone forever, my sense of purpose. Here's what most people don't understand about job loss. You don't lose your income. You lose every single marker that told you who you were and when you mattered. Think about it. Your job gave you structure. Yes, it also gave you identity cues. You were the person who arrives at 8:30, the one who leads the team meetings on Tuesdays, the professional who has their act together. When that structure vanished overnight, your brain goes into panic mode. It's like someone erased your entire operating system and left you staring at a blank screen. Research from the University of Toronto studied people who experienced major life disruptions, job loss, divorce, relocation. What they found was fascinating and heartbreaking. When people lost their established routines, their cortisol levels, that's your stress hormone, remained elevated for months, not weeks. But here's the crucial part. When these same people re-established even small daily routines, something as simple as making their bed at the same time each morning or taking a walk at a consistent hour, their mood improved significantly, even before their external circumstances changed. The researchers discovered that predictable routines lower anxiety because your mind knows what's coming next. It stops that constant scanning for danger that happens when everything feels uncertain. After job loss, your nervous system is on high alert, constantly asking, what's the threat? When will the next bad thing happening? But when you create small, consistent patterns, you send a powerful message to your brain. I'm in charge here. Structure isn't about busyness. It's about safety. It's about proving to your nervous system that even though the big things feel chaotic, you can still create order in the small things. If this is making sense to you, if you recognize that feeling of days disappearing into nothing, hit the like button. It helps other people who are struggling with the same empty hours find this video. And drop a comment. What's the hardest part about losing your routine? Is it the endless time, the lack of purpose, or something entirely else? Here's where the science gets really interesting. Neuroscience research from Stanford and Harvard has shown us something powerful about the feeling of control and how it literally changes your brain. When we plan and complete even tiny tasks, making coffee at the same time each morning, checking emails at a set hour, taking a 20-minute walk, our brain releases dopamine. That's the chemical of motivation and satisfaction. But here's what's crucial. You don't get dopamine just from big achievements. You get it from the act of following through on what you said you do, no matter how small. The Harvard research showed that people who maintained simple, consistent routines during periods of uncertainty had significantly higher levels of what they called perceived control. And the perceived control, that feeling that you're steering your own ship, activates the brain's reward system. This is why those endless unstructured days after job loss feel so terrible. Your brain isn't getting those small hits of dopamine that come from completing planned activities. Instead, it's stuck in what research calls learned helplessness, the feeling that nothing you do matters. But when you create even the smallest routine and stick to it, you're literally rewiring your brain. You're proving to yourself at a neurological level that you can still make things happen. You can't control when your next job offer arrives. You can't control the economy or the hiring process, but you can control when you wake up, when you move your body, when you connect with people who matter to you. And that control, that small daily proof that you're still capable of creating order, gives your brain the signal it's been desperately waiting for. You're stirring again. Here's something I want you to understand when you keep small promises to yourself. Getting dressed even when you have nowhere to go. Making breakfast instead of skipping it. Showering because you deserve to feel clean. You're not being rigid. You're being kind. You're telling that voice in your head, the one that whispers, "You don't matter anymore," that it is wrong. You're proving through your actions that you still deserve care and attention. Every small routine becomes an act of self-respect. When you show up for yourself consistently, even in tiny ways, you start to feel less like you're waiting for life to begin again and more like you are already living it. Because here's the truth. Confidence isn't built in one giant leap. It's built in a pattern. It's built through the accumulation of small moments where you prove to yourself that you're still reliable, still capable, still worth showing up for. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to become a productivity machine. You just need a rhythm. Something that gives your day shape and your brain a sense of predictability. Start small. Anchor your day with just 3 things. Something that begins it with intention. Something that grounds you in the middle. And something that ends it with reflection. Maybe it's coffee at 8 a.m., a walk at noon, and 10 minutes of journaling before bed. Maybe it's making your bed, eating lunch away from TV, and setting out tomorrow's clothes. The specifics don't matter. What matters is that you're creating a framework, not for productivity, but for peace. Not to impress anyone else, but to remind yourself that you're still here. You still matter, and you're still capable of creating order in your world. And that peace, that small daily proof of your own capability, slowly rebuilds the confidence that job loss tried to take away. If this video reminded you that you're still in control of something, please hit that like button and subscribe for the complete series. And I really want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me what's one small routine that helps you feel grounded again? Or what's one routine you're going to try starting tomorrow? In part 6, we are talking about reconnecting with your value through relationships. Because isolation is confidence's worst enemy, and you don't have to rebuild alone. Remember, you're not behind, you're not broken. You're rebuilding one small routine at a time. Remember, rebuilding your confidence after job loss starts here.